start with the clearance light. My clearance light are properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage. A proper color, which is amber color. Right? My hood, my mirror, my grill, and my bumper are properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage. My license plate is properly mounted and secured to my bumper. It is clean, free of debris, and is functional. I don't see any leaks under my truck, or no puddle, no leaks. Right? I'm looking at the level of my truck. My truck is not leaning to one side or the other side. In that case, it have a problem with the suspension, have a flat tire. My headlight are properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and proper color, which is clear, high beam and low beam. My signal light, clearance light, and four-way flasher are properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and proper color, which is amber. Right? Now we're gonna show now open the hood. In the passenger side, we have the alternator. My alternator is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage. All bolts are tight and present. The wires are present and no free of debris. And it's belt driven. It's belt driven. My belts, my passenger side belts are properly mounted and secured. There is no abrasion, bulges, or no fray or torn. No fray or torn. And the smoothness is between 1/2 and 3/4 of inches of plate. Right? Right here we have my hoses. My hoses are properly mounted and secured. There is no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. There is no leaks. All hoses clamps are tight and present. No leaks. Right here we have the washer fluid. My washer fluid reservoir is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no leaks. The cap is tight and present, and is proper lever. Go to the driver's side. The driver's side, I'm gonna show you the coolant system. Right here I got my radiator. My radiator is properly mounted and secured. There is no cracks, no broken, no damage, and no leaks. My engine coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no leaks. Both caps are tight and present, and the coolant level is above reach of the refuel. Alright. My oil fill cap is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and the cap is tight and present. My oil dipstick is properly mounted and secured. There is no leaks. And the way that I will check my oil is put it out my dipstick, strip it up, put it back again, strip it up back, and make sure to be above of refill mark. All right. Right here we got the water pump. My water pump is properly mounted and secured. There is no cracks, no broken, no damage, no leaks. All bolts are tight and present. And my water pump is belt driven. It's belt driven. All right. My belts, my driver side belt is properly mounted and secured. Is no frayed or torn, and the smoothness is between 1/2 and 3/4 of inches plate. All right. And this is my hose. My hoses, my driver side hoses are properly mounted and secured. There is no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, no leaks, and the hoses clamps are tight and present. And this is my coolant system. I'm going to show you my steering system. Right here I got my power steering reservoir. My power steering reservoir is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no leaks. Both caps are tight and present and have the proper lever. Alright. Under my power steering reservoir I got my power steering gearbox. This is my power steering gearbox. It's properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage. All bolts are tight and present. All right, and no leaks. Follow my power steering gearbox hose. You're gonna find the power steering pump. My power steering pump is properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and no leaks. And my power steering pump is gear driven. It's gear driven. All right. Right here, we got my air compressor. My air compressor is properly mounted and secure. There is no cracks, no broken, no damage, no leaking air. All bolts are tight and present, and it's gear driven too. All right. All right. And right here, I got my steering shaft. This is my steering shaft. My steering shaft is properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no bend, no leaking air, and both sides are properly mounted to and properly held by two U-joints. Those two U-joints are properly mounted and secure. There is no cracks, no broken, no damage. And this is my steering system. Now I'm gonna show you my suspension system. My suspension system, I have my front and rear spring hanger. My front and rear spring hanger are properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and properly secure. My leaf spring are properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no shifting. All right, and no shifting, and no illegal welds. Right here in the middle, we got the U-bolts. My U-bolts are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no broken, no damage. All bolts are tight and present. All right. And my shock absorber right here is properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no leaking air. And both sides, and the top and the bottom, are properly mounted, properly secure, with bolts tight and present. All right. And this is my suspension system. Now I'm gonna show you my steering linkage. My steering linkage have 4 components: my pitman arm, brake link, upper control arm, and my tie rod. All of them are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no broken, no damage, and they are held by coral pins and castle nuts. All right, they are properly greased, and the joints and socket, there are no loose or no worm. All right, and properly greased. And this is my steering linkage. Now I'm gonna show you my brake system. Right here I got my brake chamber airline. Right here is my brake chamber airline, properly mounted and secure. There is no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. There is no leaking air. Right here I got my brake chamber. My brake chamber is properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no broken, no damage, no leaking air, and all clamps are tight and present. All right, in his place. Right here I got my push rock and my slack adjuster. Push rock and slack adjuster are properly mounted and secure. No cracks, no broken, no damage. It's 90 degrees, and when the tire shock and the brake release, I should not be able to pull my slack adjuster no more than 1 inch of play. All right. Right here in the ring, in the inside, I got my brake drum and brake lining. My brake drum and brake lining, there is no broken, no damage, no dented. All right, and no free of debris, oil, or grease. All right. And my brake shoe. Right here, my brake shoe is properly mounted and secure. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, and there is no less than 1/4 inch of pad material. All right, and this is my brake system. Now I'm gonna show you my ring and my tire. Inside of my ring is properly mounted and secure. There is no cracks, no broken, no damage, and no illegal welds. Inside of my tire is properly mounted and secured to my ring. There is no foreign objects in my tire, and there is no abrasion, bulges, or cuts. All right, In the top of my tire is evenly warm. The tire tread depth should be no less than 4/32 of tread depth. All right. Should not be recapped. This tire should not be recapped. All right, and there is no abrasion and no any foreign objects on it. In the outside of my tire is properly mounted and secured to my ring. There is no abrasion, bulges or cuts, and no foreign objects on it. My ring is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage, no illegal welds. Alright? My lug nuts are properly mounted and secured, all tight and present, no missing. If they were loose, I will see a rust trail or shiny metal on the tread. Alright? My hub seal is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, no broken, no damage. All bolts are tight and present, and there is no leaks. My oil seal right here is properly mounted and secured. There is no crack, broken, no damage, and no leaks. My valve stem is properly mounted and secured. No cracks, no broken, no leaking air. The cap is present in his place, and when I will check my air pressure with a air pressure gauge, I have to be sure to be no less than 100 psi or manufacturer specification. All right, and I forgot here. This piece is on here. My steering shaft should be no more than 10 degrees of plate. All right, and this is the part A of for the pre-trip.